Yes. The paint on this bike was finished afternoon. I got the last piece of it Wednesday afternoon, and when I got the belly pan, it was still wet. So it'll tell you a little bit about what's underneath this thing. It's a really, really simplistic paint job, and it's really cool. It goes back to some of the old school stuff that I really like. Simple, red, black, and some really, really good clear coat.
Now you just so happen to have a display set up right on the back over here. Happens to be right next door to Ducati, of course. I mean, it's amazing how these sorts of things magically happen. But tell us a little bit about your shop. You're a Ducati specialist shop, and what you guys like to do over there. What differentiates you from some of the other shops in the area?
Well, my background is racing, and that's what our shop is based on. We raced all over the country for 20 years. And 14 of those years were on Ducatis. Now I won a national title on Ducati and a bunch of regional titles and all kinds of stuff, all racing on Ducatis. And it's our passion. It's what I wanted to do. So we had an opportunity to open the shop up 2 years ago, and we did it. And we're actually one of the best, we're actually the second best service dealership in the country, the best service dealer in the Mid-Atlantic, the best Ducati dealer in the Mid-Atlantic, all voted on this year. So we got those awards. So.
All right, so. We got a lot of pride and workmanship. We got a lot of racing heritage at the shop level. What do you say we pull the cover off this motorcycle? Donnie, would you do that for us? Put your hands together for the first Monster 1100 and the Ducati Monster Challenge this year. And you guys are going to get to vote on it. A beautifully done Monster 1100S. This is the higher spec bike. It comes with a lot of really nice features on it. But Donnie, why don't you give us a little bit of a tour from front to back on the bike? What did you do to this motorcycle to make it uniquely yours?
Well, we'll go back to Sunday morning at 10 o'clock when the truck showed up in front of my shop. I unloaded 3 motorcycles on the tractor trailer that day, and this was one of them. It was a red S. This is just like the one in the booth. At that point in time, within an hour, it was sitting on my own work stand, and 2 of us started stripping the bike down to the frame. We did leave the engine in it, and did leave the suspension components on it. Other than that, the bike was stripped. We started out with a scheme of black and red. So what I did was I blacked the entire motorcycle out. Every bolt-on component that sits on this motorcycle was taken off, painted, blacked out. So you truly got that black spar that runs through the back of it. The whole back of the bike has been blacked out. Headlight assembly, if you look at the headlight assembly, it's silver. It's black now. All the handlebars, all the controls, everything's silver. Is now black.
So going through a lot of detail. So as you look at this motorcycle, and then you go visit the one that's inside the Crimson Fortress over here, you do get a chance to see how much work was done. Go through some of the performance modifications. Obviously, we're seeing, with just only a week to go. I mean, you couldn't exactly bust in and tear it up, but I guarantee that this motorcycle is not going to stay exactly like this for too long. I suspect it's probably going to be up on your work stand. So why don't you tell us kind of the work that you might plan on this bike?
Well, I mean, when it comes to the air-cooled 1100 engine, it's an excellent engine. I've got a couple guys that are sitting out here that actually race this engine in their SS's or in their Hypers. So it's an excellent engine. We're talking 95 horsepower to start. What we could do in the 3 days that we had to do this, we put a full race system on it, full big bore Terminioni race system on. I spent 3.5 hours of hand wrapping this exhaust system in heat tape to keep the heat away from the motor and get the heat out of it. It also has a race ECU in it, and it has full brand new top of the air box and all the rest of the components that come in that kit. It's a really, really good kit. It's about they say it's somewhere between 5 and 8% on that kit on a 95 horsepower motorcycle to start with.
So, and I'm sure you got some future plans on this. Being a racer, you can't just leave it alone. I mean, we got, that was pretty fast, but I bet it could be faster. It does a nice wheelie, but I bet it could do an even better wheelie, right? So, what sort of work do you plan to do internally on this bike?
The cylinder heads are really good. They need a little bit of cleanup. We put a set of high compression pistons in it and lighten up the gear package in the bike, and a different set of cams, and we're talking 110 to 115 horsepower out of the bike, and it's very streetable. We build it all the time.
So this will be the first Monster 1100S that comes without a warranty. Is that right, Ray? Maybe. I don't know. We'll have that discussion later on. So anyway, folks, if you'd put your hands together for the first Ducati Monster 1100S of the Ducati Monster Challenge. Challenge 2009. Make sure you visit the Ducati website, which is DucatiUSA.com, and you can see all the other contestants out there. But it's a great opportunity to see one of these bikes up close and meet the builder. Thanks for hanging out with us.